everyone, good afternoon and thank you for joining us. Before we begin the session, I'd like to introduce a few admin details for you to take note of. If you have any questions during the session, please feel free to type them using the Q&A button and we'll take your questions during the Q&A segment. Lastly, please do not go off immediately at the end of the session as we need your help to fill up a simple feedback survey on today's session. So thank you once again for joining us during this lunchtime hour. My name is Sinman and I'm from the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office. So Smart Nation Together is an online program that is developed by the Smart Nation and Digital Government Office as an online platform to share on tech-related topics and skills. Here we aim to not only share with the community on basic tech skills and knowledge, but to encourage the community to expand their mindsets to consider opportunities in the digital economy. So in today's session, we present to you Stay Healthy with Mobile Technology. So without further ado, please let me welcome Etienne, exercise physiologist and sports scientist from Lab, to share with us today. So over to you, Etienne.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, nice to meet you all. Okay. All right, give me a moment. I'm going to share my screen with you all. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Hi, I'm Etienne. I'm from Lab, and I'm an exercise physiologist and the sports scientist at Lab. And Lab is a huge advocate of preventive health and conservative treatment in Singapore. And this is the reason why I partner with Smart Nation Singapore to bring to you this topic on staying healthy with mobile technology. And as we all know, that thank you for completing the poll also. And the poll has shown that most of you might have a wearable, and wearables nowadays, right? They are pretty popular. The thing is, how can we actually maximize their use to improve our health? We all know that wearables, right, help us to manage our steps. It gives us a bit of feedback on the calories burnt. But what do all these numbers mean? Today, I'm going to share a bit more with you on the basics of what these numbers mean and how all these numbers can add up, right, to help you manage your health better with your wearables, and you can maximize the use of it. And I'm going to share with you a bit more about myself. So I have a master's degree in exercise and sports studies, which basically gives me a bit more information on how to provide evidence-based information to you. So other than reading journal articles or doing research, right, to present to you some of the best information on how to take care of your health. And then in my last 10 years, I've worked in the public sector, MINDEF, HPB, and of course, I've worked in Apple to research on the Apple Watch. And that's why wearables, right, is one of my biggest passion, because it's like a personal coach to everybody. It actually could help you to manage your health 24/7. And in Lab, because we always believe, right, that prevention is the best cure. So we really want to advocate to the public on how we can stop something from happening by taking care of our daily physical activity levels first. And today, very simply, we have two little takeaways, okay? And this is what I really want to achieve with everybody today. First, right, we should try to understand what kind of health technology could help us with our needs. Because I always believe that health is a very personal thing. For example, if you go to group classes or if you go to fitness classes, there's a lot of people, right? And you don't get really that kind of tailored made exercises program to your own needs. So for example, if you go to a pharmacy and you want to get a medicine, people will prescribe to your needs, right? But how come not exercises? So health technology is able to do that because you key in your height, your weight, and also your maybe how much you exercise, and they are able to sort of generate individualized program for you. So that is the most important. And second, right, understand what those numbers means. when you collect, those are collected by your wearables. Because if you have like Google Health, Apple Health, or even like Garmin, some of you might be using Garmin, they have a lot of numbers, right? And sometimes the numbers might not be presented to you in the most visual way. So today I'm going to share a bit more also on what those numbers mean. And hopefully you're able to make full use of it and maybe discover something new about your wearable. So, all right. So first of all, very quickly, right? Could I ask everyone, okay, what do you all understand by exercising to improve health? Maybe you can share quickly in the Q&A. Like if you see this picture, when I say incidental physical activity and exercise, I want to build some context first on why do you need to do physical activity, right, to improve health. So very quickly, just share what do you understand? Why do you think that physical activity is so important to health? Humans are made to move. Wow, okay, that's very good. That's what I always hear. Humans are made to move. Totally healthy heart. Yes, we know, fantastic answer. Because we all know, right? The heart is a muscle. The only way to work that muscle is not through a bicep curls using dumbbells, is to exercise and make sure that the heart pumps and it actually it becomes stronger through this contraction action. Okay, lose weight, yeah, of course. Burn fats through physical activities. I think it's to become good body composition. And thank you for filling up the poll just now. So I would see a lot of your are between the 50 and above. So building muscles, right, is very important. Okay, it will help you to age gracefully. That means you can continue to do the things you love even when you are older. Oh, okay, great answers. To keep vitals healthy. Oh, okay, we have a great audience today. Wow, there are some very specific answers. Exercise help with blood circulation and blood. Yes, that's right. That's the essence of the adaptation to exercise, actually, to help the blood to carry more oxygen to our working muscles. All right, so thank you for the answers. Stay mobile. There's two things that I think there's one thing that I need to emphasize. All right, so physical activity level, right, is important, but physical activity is always made up of two things, and these two things, they can be tracked by wearables. So first is incidental physical activity. It might sound like a big word to many of us, but in layman terms, this basically means the activity that is done walking to the bus stop, things that are done unplanned, unstructured. So walking to the market, instead of taking the escalator up to the second level of the shopping center, I choose to take the stairs. So these are incidental physical activity. So that's important. Second, you must also have exercise. So exercise is planned. For example, I plan to run 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week or 5 times a week. So in combination, right, these two things will give you the best benefit of physical activity. So some people say, oh, I walk a lot already, I don't want to exercise. That's not the complete picture. Or I exercise already, I can spend the whole day sitting. No, then you are also missing out one part, which is very important, which is the daily activities, walking to the bus stop and all this. So these two things must be done in complementary of each other. Okay, and I'm going to show you how wearables, right, can actually help you to track, or mobile technology like the mobile apps on your phone to help you track these two things to give you the best health benefits. Okay, so next, what is health technology? It's a very broad term, correct? So health technology can mean anything from a wearable to nowadays, right? There's it's called bedded. You can basically put that device on the bed, and then when you lie on it, it can actually detect how well you have slept. Of course, people with sleeping disorder, we do not recommend you to use this kind of consumers health tech products because they are not meant to for those. And then also mobile application. So basically, health technology means any consumer tech that helps you to improve your health or to enhance it. And for today, it must be portable because you want it to be accessible, right? And you want it to be with you every time so they can understand what you are doing throughout the days. And also, okay, there are three things, right, that usually these are the reasons why people give when they say, oh, I'm not able to fulfill exercise minutes, or I'm not able to clock enough exercise in the day, or I'm not able to walk enough. So first, right, no time. Okay, that is always the thing. I have no time to exercise. I need to come home, and that's real. And I acknowledge that I need to come home to do my housework, to take out my kids. Or my meeting overran actually like planned. Yeah, all this I acknowledge. Second, okay, lack of knowledge. You do not know how much to do. You do not know what to do. So sometimes people do YouTube and or people just browse or ask from friend, hey, what do you do to get so slim? Or what do you do to get so strong? Okay, yeah, I'll do this, and then you just follow. But again, it's not tailored to you, right? It's somebody else's program. It's like borrowing somebody's suit to wear on your wedding day, and then hey, the sleeve is too long, or my jacket is oversized. So things that are tailored to be good. So that's two reasons. And the last one is what mobile technology will be able to address: motivation. Actually, motivation is very important. So motivation means like your motivation to do exercise could be helped, right, by tracking. So tracking mobile technology, yes, is always with you. So it will remind you whether you have stand enough, whether you have completed exercise minutes. It's always sending a reminder to you. Yes, it might be a bit stressful, but it can address that portion of motivation. So if you once you are able to do it right, then the other two, no time, no motivation, that one we can find other ways to manage it. And I'm sure there are a lot of other talks and workshops out there that can actually give you pointers, right, to manage these two other factors. So today we talk about how wearables, right, help you to manage motivation by helping to track how much you do. Okay, so there are many ways to do things, right? Why do I need to go and spend money to go and buy wearables? Or I mean, HPB also, they gave out step trackers, correct? I can also just go to a group class. You know, HPB has Sunrise in the City. There are free exercise classes that are conducted around Singapore, and also it's complimentary. So why is it good to use health technology? Firstly, right, health technology is able to accurately tell you what is the best intensity to exercise. We all know that if you exercise at a moderate intensity, it has the optimal health benefits. But how do I know, right? So if once you key in your data, such as your age, maybe your resting heart rate, they will be able to tell you. And certain application, I'm not promoting any application, but certain application like Zones, ZONES, they are able to actually show you, right, at which intensity are you exercising at? Is it adequate or not? I'm going to show you a sample later on. So that's one thing, right? It's able to tell you the right intensity, which is very important. Okay. Second, increase incidental physical activity, which is what I mentioned just now, whether you are walking enough to on your daily basis, such as walking to the bus stops. You know, they always say 10,000 steps. Do you think it's true? 10,000 steps is the optimal number to clock? Okay. This I will answer your question also later on. 10,000 steps is actually not really something that you should hit. It's just 10,000 steps is actually a marketing campaign done by the Japanese, I think a few decades ago, because 10,000 steps in Japanese, manpo. Yeah, not true, correct, Italy. That's right, not true. It's called manpo. So 10,000 steps in Japanese. It's an easy number to remember lah. So it's always good for marketing when something is very relatable and concise. Okay. And then the last one, all right, it's like what I said, right? Exercise at the right intensity. So this one, what is the difference from the first to the second? The first one, sorry, the first and the last one. The first one, moderate to vigorous exercise level, right? Pertaining more to people that are healthy without chronic diseases. So you want to exercise at that. The last one, exercise at the right intensity. There are cancer survivors or people that are recovering from or going for cancer treatment, right? The doctor has prescribed exactly 40% to 50% of the maximum heart rate. You should not go above. Yeah. So this is more clinical. And having a wearable will help you to manage that better. Then you can also progressively load. Because a lot of time, I think in the, like right now, right, how do you all manage intensity? if you all can also share, how do you all manage? How do you all know that you are exercising at the right intensity? Is it because you are panting? Or last time when I was in the army, right, I was in the running team, my coach always say, oh, the face, right, turns from normal color, from pink to white. That is good intensity. You have done a good job. So that was in the past, right? Everything is like gut feel. You don't have heart rate monitors in the past. That was like, what, 2 decades ago. Percentage of time spent in fifth year. Yeah, correct. So you see, you are data driven, right? You talk about numbers, right? It's not like gut feel so much. If you have variable, that is good. We like to get pre-diabetes. Yeah, where to get it done? Now, oh, must use heart rate monitor. Or actually, right, everybody should use heart rate monitor. I mean, depending on your needs, Zailani. Yeah, I think it depends, right? So it gives you better feedback on how hard you're exercising. Because you want to exercise just enough and not at the end of the day, you feel like exhausted, oh, I cannot do anything. Right? You just want to exercise there. And for pre-diabetes testing, right, I think the annual checkup would help you to would test for that. But if you really want the resources, right, to go for pre-diabetes testing, you can go on the HPB website. They have a few lists of providers. Yeah, Health Promotion Board. It's pretty comprehensive. All right, Jaya? Yeah. And keep the questions coming in. I would like to answer them. I think the most important thing is this workshop is more about all of you than me. I would like to answer your questions as much as possible. Yeah, you're welcome, Jaya. So, all right, what can we track? Okay, so now we know, right, why must we use variables, right? I've given you a reason, and it's also up to you, because I understand that different people have different price point budget. Because variables range from $50 all the way to $600 to the more exotic one, ceramic case. But I think we don't need that. What we need is the hardware to be good. Oh, yeah, I want to mention one thing also, right? So price point, right? Before I dive deeper into what the data mean, first, the thing must be accurate. Imagine you buy a ruler that's crooked. It serves no purpose. You still have a ruler, but it's not going to give you an accurate measurement every time you try to use it, right? So wearables, right? There are few studies that come out of our own local university to say which step trackers are good. Okay, some step trackers, their error is about 10 to 15%, which is, I think, it's not acceptable lah. Yeah. Okay. So try to do your research, right? Consumers research before you buy a tracker or wearable. Get a good one. If not, right, I think maybe you can go and find a budget one, a second-hand one, just to get used to it. I think it's always better to buy an accurate equipment. Yeah, in the long run, you'll benefit. It's like investing into your health. So things that are like very below $100, right? I don't think you can get very good trackers and heart rate. Yeah, so that's one thing. Okay, it will give you the wrong feedback. So maybe you're working very hard, but actually the heart rate is very low. So that's dangerous, right? So please get an accurate tracker. Different brands, they have different ways to collect data. So Apple, right, they collect data in-house. Some other companies, they actually hire other companies to collect the data in labs. So that's one. Then second, when you wear the trackers, make sure that you wear the trackers, right, properly. So like wearables especially, you want it to be snug around your hand, but not constricting your blood flow. Just snug where you can hardly put a finger to, because some of us, maybe it's not comfortable, it's a bit loose. Then because the technology uses light to detect your heart rate, right? And if it's loose, the light cannot focus on the right spot like consistently. Then your data will be off, and also your steps will be off because there's a lot of extra movement. Okay, so just be mindful of these 2 points. So get a good tracker. Second, right, wear it properly. And of course, if you still have questions, right, feel free to email me. I will try my best to respond to each and every of you. There's like 193 participants. I hope I can get to every one of you in due time. Oh, yeah. Okay. So whatever things I recommend, right, I'm not promoting them. Apple is one that can auto detect, because it's based on the algorithm inside the software. So when you start walking, right, then it will just prompt you whether you want to start it or not. It will just ping you, and then you just press start. Okay, then there's also a delay feedback. That means after you finish, then you say, oh, it seems like you have done the workout. Do you want us to save your data? So Apple is one. I'm not sure about Fitbit and Garmin. I haven't used that enough. Yeah, but if you cycle, Garmin tracker is not bad. The one that you put the cycling com. Yeah, it does prompt you to start. Yeah. Cause I forget. Yeah, change activity and data will be inaccurate. Yeah. So good. Yeah, Zalani, yes, correct. So just be mindful of inaccurate data. Okay, what can we track? First, step count. That's very important. Okay, like just now, I think Peter, right? I think yes, Peter say it's not true perfectly. That's not true. We don't need to clock 10,000 steps, but if you more is better. I'm not stopping you all from walking more. Okay, 7,000, 9,000 steps will be perfect. And if you have Google Health or Apple Watch or even like Garmin, right, they will have a very good reflection on how much you have walked. And like I said, right, motivation is very important. So having this constant feedback, whether you have clocked enough over the week, whether you are hitting 7,000 to 9,000 steps, right, it's sort of send you a reminder, oh, okay, I must walk more. And again, if at the end of the week, I've not clocked enough steps, do I try to make it up? No. It's always regular habits, which means every day you must be clocking 7,000 to 9,000 steps. It's not like, oh, today I clocked 2,000, then tomorrow 1,000, the day after 500. Not possible 500, 1,000, right? And then we get, oh no, I must walk more. I will walk like 20 to 30,000 steps. Okay, so please don't do that, all right? First, it's too much too soon. Okay, then you run the risk of an injury. Okay, and it's always good to have. It's the same thing. You have your vegetables every day, put in consistent work. It's like saving. So think of health as saving. Every day you put in a bit. Every day you put in a bit. Then over 20 years, right, you see your piggy bank grow. It's the same. It's a very good analogy. So consistent work. 7,000 to 9,000 steps is what you see on your step tracker. And if it's your phone, right? If you don't have a wearable, if your phone, it's also okay. Most phones nowadays would be able to detect whether you have put it inside the pocket or having it in your hand. They have the software would be smart enough, right, to account for this variability. Okay. So that's one. Steps are very important for incidental physical activity. So that's the part one, right? Remember I said there's two parts to a holistic physical activity program. So incidental physical activity. Second, I'm coming to exercise now. So exercise, the main difference, okay, between incidental physical activity is that it must be planned and structured. It's like taking medicine prescribed before meal, after meal, one tablet. Then I will take it, finish the course of the medication, because antibiotics, you cannot stop halfway, you must finish everything. Then you will see the full effect. So same thing, right? Why? This 30 minutes moderate intensity, 5 days a week, this is encouraged by World Health Organization, American College of Sports Medicine. And it's a figure that we always hear. But sadly, most people are not able to accomplish this. Okay? I think people do underestimate the amount of work, right, we need to exercise, the amount of exercise we need to do, right, to actually be healthier. So for example, I have a patient. Previously, the patient was just exercising, I think once a week. Yeah, once a week. And you can see that so we were walking like 2 km brisk walk, and the heart rate was always like quite high, moderate to vigorous. Okay, so she was working very hard to complete 2 km, right, at a pace of about 5 kilometers per hour. Okay, so one round around the track about 5 minutes. Yeah. Then over 4 weeks, we try to from once a week, right, to 2 times a week to 3 times a week, right? We increase to 30 minutes moderate. And you can see, right, even though the distance, the pace is the same, right, the average heart rate for the exercise, it actually drops. It means, right, for the same timing, for the same distance, her heart actually got stronger. So the heart just need to pump one time to send, like some of you mentioned, right, send oxygen around the working muscles. All right. So this is the amount of work, right, we need to do to actually improve health. And also, like for me, some of us, we would like to lose weight that's for health reasons also, not only to look good, but if the motivation is to look good, right, that's also okay. Yeah. So like for me, I've been, for the last month, I've been cycling like 200 to 250 km a week. Yeah. And and also managing my diet. And guess how much weight I lost only? Yeah, it's incredible. That's the amount of work. So for the last 30 days, almost 200 km a week. Yeah, I lost about maybe say 1.5 kg only in 1 month. Yeah, that's so. But again, right, it must be progressively. So how can the wearable help you to track this? Okay, it will be able to help you track intensity first. So moderate intensity is 64% to 76% of a maximum heart rate. The easiest formula to know is take 220 minus your age. That's it. Okay, I think for most people, right, this will still be relevant. There are many other formulas, but it's a bit more complicated. But if you wish to know more about those more precise formula, you can also message me privately over the email at info@mlab.sg. I will be able to share with you. Okay, so this is the intensity that you should be exercising, right? If you are free of any chronic diseases, you are a healthy individual. Okay, this is the intensity that you should be exercising for maximum health benefit. So a simple app like Zones, this is by Zones actually. You can see, right, that you can see, let me pull up my drawing. Okay. So if you key in your age, the application actually pairs with your wearable. It could be a Garmin, it could be a Fitbit, and it's able to tell you that you're actually exercising at this zone, 64%. So this is pertaining to your own needs, your age, okay, how much you need to exercise. And then when you exercise at that time, right, oops. And you actually exercise at time, right, do you see this green arrow? Okay, so this green arrow will tell you that have you clocked enough exercise minute in the moderate intensity. So for this individual, right, it's 53 minutes. That's more than enough. A lot of people ask, oh, so if you want to improve body composition means to lose weight, right? How much more? For health reasons, 30 minutes at moderate intensity, 5 days a week, it's adequate. If anyone can do that consistently, I tell you, you'll reap a lot of health benefits. But for weight loss, it's going to be 60 minutes. Okay, that's double the work done. But you need to bring it up progressively. You cannot be, say, starting at 30 minutes and then suddenly, all of a sudden, you say, I want to double and go to 60 minutes. Then that's also another recipe for disaster. Okay, so very simply, this application Zone, pair with your wearable, it will give you the exact feedback. And then you're able to exercise safely, right? And also effectively. You know that whatever hard work you have put into the exercise, you are actually exercising at the right zone. So these are really very simple things, right, that the wearable can help you to do and measure accurately instead of just gut feel. Next. Let me do. Okay, next, right, would be calories. And calories, it's a lot of people, I think it's at the back of a lot of people's mind. When I exercise, okay, how much calories am I expending? Because for some of us, other than heart health, we want to make sure that we maintain a good body composition, means a lower body fat percentage and a higher muscle mass percentage, right? So calories, right, if you exercise at moderate intensity, you will be able to achieve good calorie expenditure, right, in your exercise. And there's no fat burning zone. Actually, at every zone that you are exercising, you will be expending some sugar, you're expending some fats. It's just the composition of how much you're expending. On the contrary, as you exercise more and more, that means long distance running, like 5 km, 10 km, your body will learn to utilize fats as energy source. So actually, in a nutshell, you become more efficient in utilizing fats. All right. So this app, right, is called Lucid app. There are a few, I think there's My Power by Under Armour. What is good about this, right? When you exercise, they will send the exercise calories, right, to this app. So you can see this exercise calorie? Okay, it will tell you how much is going to this is 169. Okay, so exercise is deficit, right? It minus wise, okay, it adds. So at the end of the day, right, I will have this net. Okay, this is the net calorie intake that I have for the day. Okay. And my budget, this is basically how much energy I need to keep myself alive every day. Yeah. So I will always want to aim for something that's under. So that is green, right? That is good. Okay. Can I know, right? Does any of you use a dietary app to track your habits? Does any of you do it? Okay, I have some feedback from participants that is very stressful. Every time you eat, right, you take out the dietary app, you look at the food, and then you try to find, okay, like maybe economical rice, you key in. Yes, it does, Wilson. Good question. So Wilson asked, does dietary apps work for Asian food? Yes, it does, because nowadays, right, the dietary app, they are open source. So which means it's keyed by individuals like you, and then they'll be vetted through a team of dietitians on their end to see if the calories, right, make sense or not. And they will do their own research also. So it does. So that means you get a very comprehensive dietary app. Okay. Okay. So once, and also the dietary app, right, you can also scan. You can also scan barcodes on the food labels, which means you immediately get the dietary information right from the back of the food packaging. That's even more time saving. So if you have a dietary app and you have a wearable, basically, right, everything is automated for you. At the end of the day, right, you just open your dietary app and you look, am I under today? So if you're trying to lose weight, right, it's always good to see green under, all right? And if you're over, then you need to adjust either exercise output or your food intake. So how will it look like, right? I would encourage people, okay, Jaslyn, right? Jaslyn, some good apps, really, Lucy is not bad. You can find it on App Store, and also you can try MyPal, because it answers Wilson Lu, does it have menu for Asian food? It does, because I tried them myself. Okay, so you can do it. All right. So I would encourage people, right, to use a dietary app at least for a month, not forever, because I think it's quite stressful to keep tracking your food. Why a month? So that it gives you a clear and I think fair picture of what you have been eating and doing. Okay. Oh, lose it. It's lose it. LOSE and IT. Lose it. So that's number one. Second, MyFitnessPal. So my MY, then fitness pal, PAL. Yeah. Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah. So try to track it over 1 month. And this is actually a diary, right, from one of my clients also. So a good thing is I will be able to access her. I mean, she will send me screenshots of an app. Then we will be able to discuss what can we do, the consulting part. That is important. Yeah. So try it out and pair it with your wearable. So everything is automated. At the end of the day, you just need to switch on your mobile app, lose it, and then look, oh, today is good. I think I should continue with this diet. And then, for example, you start on 1st of June, right? And then you end on 30th of June. So you take the weight management or body composition management. Then you see, hey, actually this diet and this exercise routine actually help me to maintain or lose weight or what. So you have become your own personal coach already with the help of fitness app and wearable. So it's pretty effective and it's data driven. Nothing is guesswork. And let me try to answer some of the questions in the Q&A. Like Carrie, right? I train with a Garmin which gives me VO2 max as 39. It says my physical age is 20. What can I do to push up? So I think a very simple question, I think a very simple answer to this, right, Terry? VO2 max. This is a bit individualized. Okay, I think first of all, right, you need to have an exercise program that allows you to train at close to your limit of your aerobic capacity. Okay, what it means, right, is close to wherever your VO2 max is. That means if you are running, right, and you are training at 39, your VO2 max limit 39, right? That means your training must be designed around this number. So then this is the benchmark. And then our program, either I will run one day at this limit and the other day I'll run like 10% below it. So the program design, right, is the answer. You should look for a strength and conditioning coach or a sports scientist to help you design, because I think what you need, right, is something quite individualized, and I don't think I will be able to give you the full complete answers, which is not good. Yeah, I think this will be the best. Find somebody to help you design this program. But it's a good goal, you know, because I mean, I respect that you want to push out your VO2 max. I mean, you can email me. I can share a bit more detail on this. Yeah. Is it sufficient if you run 40 minutes per time, 3 times a week? Oh, okay. Good question, Agnes. So 40 minutes, right, per time, depends on the intensity again. Intensity is very important. So 40 minutes slow jog is light intensity, right? But we need moderate intensity. So please use an app or a wearable, right, to give you that feedback, okay, if possible. So if we assume that you're running 40 minutes at moderate intensity, 40 times 3 times a week is 120, right? But we are advocating 30 minutes times 5. So it's 150. So you're short of 30 minutes. You need to try to find time to do that, to move up to that 30 minutes to compensate for that 30 minutes gap, right? Slowly. Okay. So, but in a nutshell, this is considered an active individual, because active individual just requires 3 times of exercise each week to be considered non-sedentary, which is enough to mitigate any risk of chronic diseases. But for optimal health, it's actually 150 minutes in total. Okay, you're 120, so you need 30 minutes more, Agnes. Can you talk about resting heart rate and heart rate variability? Wow, okay, resting heart rate and heart rate variability. Okay, I will explain simply. Resting heart rate, basically, for most people will be between 60 to 100. That's fine. For athletes, right, usually the resting heart rate will be lower, and a lower resting heart rate for healthy individuals without any heart issues, right, would usually signal a stronger heart, because the heart do not need to pump as many times to deliver the same amount of blood. You just need to do like one time, and then it delivers like maybe enough blood to send around the whole body, compared to somebody with a weaker heart need to pump 2 times. All right, and cardio exercises will improve that. Right, then heart rate variability, right? Can you talk about VO2 max? Oh, okay. So heart rate variability, it's basically in very simple terms, right? It measures stress. It measures how well. It also is an indicator of cardiovascular health. So how to measure that? I think an accurate wearable will only give you that. So a high heart rate variability usually means lesser stress, which is good, and good cardiovascular health. Okay, so download an app that measures heart rate variability, pair it with your wearable, and you're able to get that feedback. So on days where you feel stressed, right, you'll see a lower value, sometimes 20. Yeah, a good value will be above 45, but it's again based on individual. Yeah, Breathe app can. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that the Breathe app in Apple Watch can give heart rate variability. Oh, not yet, Patricia. I'm going to finish coming to the last part of my slides. So the last one, right, that for wearable to help you will be sleep. It's a very trending topic nowadays. Yeah, trending topic. Why? Because we always focus on exercise and physical activity, but we neglect, right, that actually rest is a very important component of health. So when we exercise hard enough at a good intensity, we actually need to manage our rest too, so that we can recover, right, and being able to exercise the next day or to complete our daily chores. So for most young adults, okay, we would need to sleep between 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. Okay, that's very important. Uninterrupted sleep means, right, that you don't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet, and or you get disturbances from noises outside. You sleep through it. Okay, why? Because during sleep, 2 things happen. First, the body repairs itself. Second, you refresh your memory. Okay, sometimes, so that's why without enough sleep, right, sometimes we feel that we cannot remember things well and we don't articulate ourselves well. So how can wearable help? So either if you're comfortable, you wear a wearable beside on you when you sleep. If not, you can just put your phone right with a sleep tracker beside you. So it measures the amount of noise you make, the amount of motion you make, and then it gives you an overall picture of how well you are asleep. So same thing like a dietary habit. Please also track, right, for about a month, okay, to understand your sleeping habits. That would be the best. Okay, don't try to do it for 1 or 2 days and then it gives you an incomplete picture of how your sleeping patterns are. Maybe today you feel restless because something happened during the day. So over the course of a week, all right? Okay, so to sum it up, 4 things that we really like the wearable to help us to track in 2 categories. One is incidental physical activity. Second is the amount of planned physical activity that we do, which is called exercise. So step count, right? Second, the number of the amount of intensity, moderate intensity exercises that we do over the day. Then after that, the calorie expenditure that is done by the dietary app, and lastly, sleep. So if you can take care of these 4, at least we will get a very holistic exercise regime, or actually physical activity regime, right, with help from the wearables. Okay, so try it out. If you have any questions, like final details, right, on the questions on wearables, do feel free to email me again. And as for the questions that I've not been able to answer, I think Singman, right, will be able to forward those questions to me, and let's see how we can get to them. And of course, yeah, and I want to address one thing also, the personal data, right? Yeah, please be aware of how the app or the wearable actually collect data and where they store it. Okay, try to make sure that it's compliance to HIPAA standards. All right, and you don't want it to be sold to other people, or yeah, they should have information on the website on how they manage the data. So that's a very important part. Yeah, good thing Genevieve actually asked. All right. Okay, so a bit about MLab. I mean, for us, we are advocates of preventive health and conservative treatment. So most importantly, preventive health, to prevent things from happening before it happened, using exercise. Conservative treatment meaning we tend, like for example, if you sprain an ankle, right, maybe somebody suggested surgery, but actually we rather you not go under the knife and actually do rehabilitation to get back to function or go back to sports. And it happens a few times, like my friend who sprained the ankle, actually we always ask to seek a few more opinions. It's like asking, you don't want to have only one opinion to make your decisions, right? So he asked a few opinions. Actually, the other opinions actually asked him to use rehabilitation to manage his sprained ankle. And in the end, it turned out he don't need surgery to recover. So this is what we want to advocate in MLab also. And then if you can see the number of services we have, right, we also hope that we can provide a one-stop. So all the practitioners under MLab, we actually talk among ourselves to, it's like a kitchen, you know, some chefs in charge of dessert, some chef in charge of the main. Yeah. So everybody work together, right, to provide a nice dinner to you, but everything is under one roof. So it's all controlled. We don't want people not talking to each other. So we hope that this one-stop service, right, can actually give our clients, right, the most holistic program to take care of their health. And if you have further questions, you can contact us via these channels. And please follow us and like us on Instagram. This is where we usually update our events, especially talks and workshops, because we are very big on education. We believe that we are part of the healthcare industry to promote preventive health, and we really want to do it through education and sharing sessions like this, you see. And yeah, so do follow us on Instagram and really send us questions or things that are related to preventive health and conservative treatment. And hopefully that we can advise you. If not, we always refer you to somebody that is that can give you the answer. Because your health is the most important to us. All right. Okay, this is the references for the information that has been given to you just now. The references are usually from journal articles or from government websites where the information sources are credible and reliable. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope today's session, right, is fruitful and you have great takeaways. So just try out the simple tips that I have given and see how it helps you over the month. And yeah, and I hope that you will be healthier even with the help of wearing health technology.